In the world of English grammar, there is a city that inhabits a group of citizens, the infinitives. People think that they always have a pet companion too, but not all of them begins with two. Those outcasts are now commonly known as the bare infinitives. The bare infinitives coming to you soon in an unbearable cinema near you. Well, okay, that's it for the overly dramatized and terrible film trailer. Well, no one's gonna watch that film anyway. As the film trailer said, not all infinitives have the word to. Well, perhaps they're just too cool for a companion. Psh, I don't need you, I'm a strong, independent infinitive. Not all infinitives are qualified for this special club though, and there are only 6 situations where they could be in this Illuminati. The bare infinitive jungle because they are bears and bears live in jungles. Let's move on. The first bunch are those who follow the auxiliary verb do. It's not like do as a verb, but before the verb itself, like I did animate this whole video myself. Well, in this case, did is the auxiliary verb and animate is the bare infinitive. I don't know how to animate, and I do know how to draw badly. It's another example of this type of bare infinitives. Other than the auxiliary verb do, modal auxiliary verbs also qualify for the club. Modal auxiliary verbs include can, could, may, might, must, will, would, shall, should, need, dare, and more. Basically, it's the same thing, but instead of do, you use the modal verbs. I will show you some examples of bare infinitives with modal auxiliary verbs. And ironically, that sentence is one of the examples. You could trust me on that one, which is also another example. Man, I should stop spitting out this planned coincidental example sentence. Seriously, I will stop now. Oh wait, that's another example. The third group is infinitives after verbs of perception. Perception is the way you notice things, especially senses. These verbs include but not limited to see, watch, notice, hear, listen, feel, and smell. For example, I saw the bear steal my sandwich, or I heard an A350 fly over my house. In this sentence, the infinitive is fly, expressing an complete action. We can also use a present participle after these verbs to refer to an action continuing over a period of time, like I felt the ground shaking for a minute, which in this case, you should probably run for your lives. Important to note that the infinitive in this group needs to in the passive voice, like an A350 was heard to fly over my house, because they're incompetent without a to companion when they're being passive. I think they're just huge introverts like me, I don't know. Another incompetent infinite group is infinitives after verbs that take the form verb plus object plus bare infinitive, because obviously it has bare infinitive in their form. They're basically the same thing as the last group, but you used specific verbs like let, make, and have. So let it go falls into this group perfectly. I mean, not the song, but the phrase in particular. I will have the mechanic check the aircraft immediately. Make is the odd one out in the group. No, James, we're not talking about the odd ones out right now. Make in the passive voice requires to, while let and have doesn't. So make is the only one which is incompetent in this group, I guess. The fifth bunch is infinitives after had better, would rather, cannot help but, and can/could do nothing but. I would rather take the helicopter to school because that's way cooler and faster than any means of travel. The airline could do nothing but give you an expired meal voucher for your delay. But seriously, if airlines treat you like this, you should really consider switching another airline to fly next time. The last group is infinitives after why not, because why not? They're used to introduce questions or suggestions, because why not? Well, why not just move to the next part? We know that infinitives can appear in perfect form, which shows that an action took place earlier than the action of the main verb. This form is often used with must, can't, may, might, should, needn't, seem, appear, and more. Well, more is not one of the words, but I mean, more of these kinds of words, but more is not one of them. Let's move on again. They absolutely hated the two companion and tossed it into the fire. So that means these words don't need two in front of them. Man, they must have hated the other infinitives that adored the two companion. That was an example of how you use this word. But that joke wasn't funny at all, I think. Oh wow, finally finished editing it like after 2 days of non-stop editing, and I really hope you enjoyed it even though I don't really know how to animate or draw properly. This is some terrible drawings, but I hope you liked it. Also, I could have gone way more in-depth than this, but what's the fun of getting more detail than some comedy value out of this video? I just want you to learn something out of these things and explore the rest by yourself. Then you can get a better understanding of these things, I think. Again, I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day.